Alright guys, I just wanted to show my ownCloud 7 setup. Actually going to make a setup, install, configuration video after this. But for now I'm just going to show, kind of how ownCloud 7 works, why you'd want to use it, what use cases I use it for, and what I think it works really well for. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do is I have this is my production install. I've been testing it rigorously for the last month or two. I've fixed a bunch of bugs. Committed those to the GitHub. I've also submitted a lot of bugs and people have fixed them. So for the most part, for what I do, a lot of the bugs have been fixed and it's pretty polished. There's still a couple little things here and there, but for the most part, on the main setup, everything works. Most of the things that I still need fixing are with dealing with different apps on ownCloud. So yeah, today I'm going to just go over the main ownCloud application. I'm not going to go over on apps that are on top of ownCloud, other than ones that are built in. How I use this is I'm going to set this up so that my family members can sync files, upload their pictures from their Android phones, do those kind of things. Some of my family members, need to sync files between multiple computers and they use Dropbox currently, but I'm switching to this and they like how this will basically, they don't have to worry so much about privacy of other people reading it. I mean, I could potentially read this, but that's the other point is I also use the encryption app in ownCloud, which is built in. You can just enable it, and what that does is people's files are encrypted with a key that is then encrypted with their password. So if when they connect to ownCloud, they unencrypt everything on the fly, and then when they disconnect, it encrypts it again. So that's nice because then they can trust that I'm not looking at their files. I can potentially still work around things, but for the most part, they trust I'm not looking into what they have. So the downside of that is it is some slight overhead. Number one. Number two, if they forget their password, their files are pretty much done for. There's no way to get them. I mean, on their clients, there would be an unencrypted version, so that they could still use those. So yeah, so let me go over the main install. This is the file view. This is just an incognito window. I'm going to show what it would, a lot of sharing things in this window. So basically, if you shared with someone who's not logged into ownCloud. So here's folders, here's files right here, and different kinds of files. I'm going to show what different files look like. Let's see, let me drop a PDF in there. This is what a PDF looks like. You can see that it creates previews for different kinds of files. This is a .doc, this is a .pdf. It uses LibreOffice to create those. You can say this is a PDF viewer built into ownCloud. It's pretty decent. The doc, when you click on that, you get a kind of a preview of it. Also ODF, which is the it's like the alternate version of .docs or .docx's. It's the version that you usually would use on with LibreOffice on Linux or something. Obviously there's pictures as well. Here's a bunch of pictures of my fiance that I put in here, but you can see you click on it, you get a little preview thing. Text files, you can edit them. Yeah, so that's pretty much there. Oh yeah, you also got movies. Some funny videos of me and my friends from college. But you even get previews from these, and this is created from FFmpeg. It takes the first couple seconds, I think. It makes a preview. That's pretty cool. You can actually view them. There's a video viewer directly. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, you can't hear it, but it's really loud in my headphones here. Oh. Yeah, so that's a video from college. That's pretty sweet. So yeah, you can see that's basically how it works. What else do we have? So let me go over some of the apps that are built in that I'm using. Actually, let me show you how you could share files. Let's say you want to share this file. You would just click on share. You could share with another user on ownCloud. Obviously, there's not that many users. It's just me right now until I get my family members on here. But you could share with a link. You could password protect the link. You can set an expiration date. Let's just use this link. I guess it auto-played, but yeah, basically that's what you get. Let me mute that because it's so loud. So yeah, you basically have, you can share like that. You can share text files. You can share whatever. And usually it'll give, if it can make a preview, it makes a preview of it, and then they could, click and download it. Open that. Yeah, so. Yeah, so you got links. Yeah, you could share JPEGs, obviously. Yeah, that's pretty preview. It's a huge preview, but yeah, that's basically what you got. All right, so that's that. Let me show the gallery app. Basically what this does, it just indexes your folders. It keeps it in your folder setup, which some people wouldn't like because they want to organize it differently. I don't really care because I organize my stuff by folders anyway. So here's the pictures folder, and it sees there's pictures in there, so it indexes that. Bam, you can see that, and that's my fiance. You can click on this and get like a little slideshow if you want to. I don't know if you can see that. It's in the corner a little bit, but yeah, basically it just goes through the pictures like that. Yeah. That's that. Actually, let me just show. Yeah, so if you were in here, you could actually just share a whole folder too. And if it's in the gallery app, I think it knows to use it as a gallery. So yeah, in here, I can just see the whole folder. And this is like an incognito window because I shared it out. And I think in the Files app, it'll show that that folder is now shared, so you could unshare that. So now if I refresh this, you obviously can't get that anymore. All right, so then, actually, let me show you one more cool thing that I forgot to go over just a second ago. Let's make a public folder. You don't, yeah. So then I can share this and I can make it, let's password protect this, and let's allow public uploads. And let's put password as pass. Yeah. Get that link. Yeah, so let's put pass. So now here's a public folder that people can just drop whatever into. Let me drop like a, I need something, drop an APK in there. Did that drop in? Yeah. So yeah, I just uploaded a file and you can see in here, it's in there now. So you could make, so even if someone doesn't want, you don't want to sign 100 people up in your own cloud, you can just make a folder, and if you want password protect and say, hey, drop your whatever files you need to share in here, and other people can get to it. So it's a nice way for people to collaborate that way. What else is there? I'll go over the documents. I'm almost done actually on the ownCloud web interface. Here's a document. This is actually a .doc. This is a new thing about ownCloud, is it can on the fly convert .doc, .docx's in order to edit them. So actually this document, it's encrypted on the hard drive. It has to unencrypt that with my password. Then it converts it from .doc to ODF, and then the web thing can actually edit it. And then once you save it, it encrypts it again, and then it converts it back to .doc and then encrypts it. So it's doing a ton of stuff on the fly, and you can see, I don't know if I want to mess with her resume. Actually, I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to delete this later. Sure, you got it. Yeah, I don't think she needs it. But yeah, you can see on the fly, you can edit something, and you could even share this out. Let's just close that. So, but that's gonna. So you can see it takes a while because it's saving as a .doc, and here it's actually making a new preview. You can upload stuff, obviously. Here, let me drop a. Yeah, so let's make a new document. This will make an ODF by default because that's what it's natively working with. So now let me show you how this can somewhat replace Google Docs. The document part of Google Docs. It still can't do spreadsheets, but say for example you share someone a link, then a guest anonymous person you guys could work on documents together collaboratively. Yeah, so you can see it's on the fly happening. It's kind of slow there, but yeah, you can see on the fly it's working, and that's how you can collaboratively edit documents. It works pretty well, and I hope that they do have spreadsheets soon, because I do use Google Docs for a couple spreadsheets, like tracking my finances and other things. So that'd be nice to have. Otherwise, I might just have to do an Excel file in my own cloud, because I do want to get off Google Docs soon. Probably within the next 6 months to a year, I'll be done with that. Yeah, so you can see that one has a little shared icon because that's shared. I still left it shared, but I can unshare it or whatever, whatever you need to do. So that's basically the web thing. I'm going to pause this video and come back in a minute. Alright guys, I'm going to now show the desktop and the Android client for ownCloud. This is the desktop client. It's running on Linux, but they have versions for Mac and Windows as well. You can see that I have one ownCloud set up on here. You can actually set it so only certain folders sync, so you can make it so only a specific folder in the ownCloud thing would sync. That'd be nice for some setups. For me, I just have everything sync and then I ignore certain folders. So I added these two, the pictures folder and the instant upload, and that's just because I have well, at least on other people's setups, they have a ton of pictures. Like my fiance has like 80 gigs of pictures, and her laptop only has like 120 gig hard drive. So that way I can have it all on the server, but I don't have a second copy on her client. Now that don't worry about that, because I actually still have another offsite backup, which I'll show in my setup video of how I do that all. But I'm not worried about that for backup. It's just more like I need to save space on her client, and she's taking, these are the instant upload is what, when your Android phone uploads something, it uploads it here. That one can grow really large too. Like I think she has like, I don't know, like 12 gigs on her phone right now, and that's out for like a year, and she's just taking pictures faster. So those would go here to get backed up. So in that case, I don't want those to also be synced to her desktop, so to her laptop, I mean. So that's why I ignore those folders, but everything else I have, so any documents, those kind of things I'm going to have in here. Let me just show, so like, let me drag some folders in there. So like I added a folder here, you can see it uploaded it there, and if I refresh this, you can see, you have to actually refresh the web client, and it even created a little preview image. Yeah, you got the PDF there. Yeah, so that's how the ownCloud client works. It just syncs. It's somewhat buggy sometimes. Like I noticed with like using the Documents app, I don't know if it's like doing something weird, but it like when you do the documents, this thing could get locked up. So yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work, but for the most part, it works. Let me now show the Android thing. Yeah, let me show some of the more stuff in this app. So you have the activity section, some settings. There's also this little like icon in my top bar, in my but I'm not going to show that here. And you have obviously, you know, your ownCloud installs. So now let me show. Now this is my Android phone. It seems really laggy. It's not laggy in person, but it's just this screencast tool I'm using is kind of laggy, so I'm just going to open the ownCloud app. It's like barely any frames per second, but yeah, you can see it's the same files, and I can, you know, do that. I think you can set up to constantly syncing. I don't have that set up right now because I was just testing, but I'm going to set it up later. I have this also do instant uploads, which I'll show. But let me just show, like, you can see you can view files from here, you can upload. So say I click this, I can upload files. It uses a lot of just like the Android APIs. So say I want to, oh, okay, so that thing finally synced. So say I want to click on that. It'll download it, and then it'll ask you, you know, using the file handle, what kind of, or the file extension, what kind of thing do you want to open it with? Let's open it with Adobe. Yeah, sorry, it's just so laggy on the screencast. Let me go back. But you kind of get the picture. It's the same thing, but you're not actually syncing all the files to your phone, though you can keep files up to date. So every time it syncs and sees that file has changed, it'll download the latest. But basically all it does is it really just views what files you have, and you can download them. Now let me show the uploading system. So say I set it up to only upload on Wi-Fi, but say I take a picture. Okay. You can see it has all these notifications. This thing's way too verbose, so I don't need all those. I don't need to see things succeeded. If it succeeded, I assumed it would succeed. But yeah, you can see in my instant upload folder the file that I just took, which is this one. This one's from earlier. Is there? Is this the latest? Yeah, 1950. Yeah. Yep. So there you go. Yeah. So for the most part, it works. That's pretty much it. That's the Android client and the desktop client. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my setup video if you want to see how to set this thing up on FreeNAS. See you guys later.